Meadow's one serious boyfriend was Brandon Lee. Brandon means prince. Prince is the musician from the Twin Cities where I live. Um, Brandon Lee, of course, as I've said before, it means Prince Meadow. Okay, Lee means meadow, as if you've watched my YouTubes, you know that. Okay, I'm kind of a broken record, and but who knows? Okay, so the crow, Brandon Lee actually died while he was playing in that video, and it's actually about there's Bruce Lee right there, the legend of Bruce Lee, the dragon. Now Dan is the tribe of the dragon. That tribe of they're actually the tribe that has the most. They got the Libra scales. Okay, so Meadow was going to be a lawyer. Okay, and Libras are the ones that they make the great judges, lawyers, justice, and that's what Dan means. Is it means judge. So the eagle, for the American eagle, the snake, the scales, and the horse. The horse is I believe, the seventh animal that made it to the Jade Emperor's gate. Okay, and that is Meadow's, her father Andrew. His Chinese zodiac happens to be the fire horse, fire sign. It's interesting. The red horse is like the is of all the horses in the book of Revelation, that's the one that destroys the red. And then the white horse is what's both the death on a pale horse, and then there's the bowman, conquering bowman on the white horse. And then there's the Christ rides a white horse allegedly in the book of Revelation, but in his final appearance as the film stars, Brandon Lee seeks vengeance against the gang who murdered him and his fiancée, all the while being pursued by a sympathetic police officer. Production on The Crow was struck by tragedy when Lee was fatally wounded by a prop gun during filming. As Lee had finished most of his scenes before his death, the film was completed through script rewrites, a stunt double, and digital effects. After Lee's death, Paramount Pictures opted out of distributing the film, and the rights were picked up by Miramax Films, who oversaw the film's completion. The film is dedicated to Lee and his fiancée, Eliza Hutton. Eliza. That's interesting. Reminds me of... Anyway, so my counselor at the last treatment center, which was called Douglas Place, his name was Dan Tucro. So, the tribe of Dan. I interact with this... I swear I know it because my best friend, okay, the Jew that I gave my Israeli flag to, his name was Dan. I called him Lieutenant Dan, and I'm Forrest Gump, and I go to the Vietnam War memorials. I would chant all the names carved into granite because, it was a way of... Somebody told me, they said, Matt, you know what? The reason you did not die when you jumped off that building, it's because you're already freaking dead, okay? And it's exactly how I feel is I cannot relate to living people anymore. So The Crow was released in the United States on May 13th, 1994. So May 13th, dude, that's the feast of Our Lady of Fatima. That is crazy because that's the only reason I even live in this city, the Twin Cities, where they've got the dome, the Capitol buildings modeled after St. Peter's Basilica. This does not mean that there's anything special about me. It's wrong for me to be drawing attention to myself, but I'm just saying, I think maybe I need to leave this for somebody else to pick up if I die, successfully die, because of course sometimes it might be, I might get what I ask and you shall receive. I wanted my brains blown out in this life, so I've charged up the police, with my hand in my pocket saying I've got a gun, and, I've asked people to blow my brains out and then lay down in front of an oncoming train, and, I ask him, please, you'd be such a hero, if I don't actually believe, there's not one of these individuals, but that was... It was a delusion I had before this whole Parkland thing, and with her having the name, with Brandon Lee, Lee Harvey Oswald and Jackie Lee Kennedy, and then there's Jackie Ken and Jackie Chan. She could just blow my brains out. I was begging her, please, just do the whole world a favor. That's why I jumped off that building. I thought, if I stay alive, I'm just gonna screw things up and mess. I'm doing more harm than good by existing, by still being able to be a burden on society and wasting government money and wasting, so it's just better to just freaking die, because I also offend people, and I never, it's so interesting. There's so many people that want to live, and then someone like me, I've tried very serious, jumping off a 3-story plus building and then laying down in front of an oncoming train at nighttime, and the train just comes to a screeching halt. Those are not cries for help. Those are serious, I am ready to freaking die. And then a drug overdose where I stopped breathing. By the time the paramedics got there, they said, his oxygen level was down low enough that, if we didn't get there and put him on oxygen, he could have been mentally retarded or a vegetable for life. And I overdosed on heroin. I woke up and I thought I had broken bones because I'd been laying on the floor so long. I was numb for months and swollen, scar tissue. The muscles and the fat was all dying from not moving and just laying on a hard floor. That it was releasing all these toxic chemicals into my bloodstream, and they were saying, if we, they had to flush, they had to, drain they had to put all this fluid into an IV, and because my kidneys would were in danger of, kidney failure, and so, dreams do not come true in this life. I guess I just do not get to die until it's my time. So, I'm very sorry if I'm offensive, because I'm trying to learn how to deal with a very dark, miserable, lonely existence. I can't relate to anybody. The things that I want, the people I relate to are typically dead. Okay, and of course spiritual entities that anyone thinks you're nuts usually, if that's all you're really interested in. And so when life really sucks, you learn to have a sense of humor and try to find it's really funny. And I'm very sorry because I don't like offending people, but you've kind of got to please. This is what I would want from these. I'm not saying I'm special. I'm saying maybe there could be somebody out there who could do this. Is kind of like what Cyrus the Great did. Is you've got to entertain both all the audiences, all the people. Okay, you've got to feed everyone equally. The Pepsi, that's what whenever I say Meadow told me something, Meadow Jade told me something, or the spirits of the Parkland, who knows who said what. Okay, any spirit is capable of impersonating. There's even God himself or the devil can come as an angel of light, whatever. The God of Abraham appears to be the extreme of different opposites. The epitome of violence and the epitome of charity and the epitome of justice, and then the epitome of the worst kind of injustice. So it's, you never actually know who said what. Okay, but it's a conviction of heart. Spirits, it's true that spirits of the dead do not always tell the truth. That's why necromancy is not allowed. But spirits of the living people do not tell the truth either. Does that mean you should never talk to the living either? And also, I do not practice necessarily necromancy. That's like holding seances where you're summoning spirits from the underworld or Sheol or something. I specifically want spirits of, that are to have authority, that are governed by the law of love, destiny. There's whatever is going to heal the most people, save the most souls. Those are the only spirits I would want to have the ability to influence.